Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tips and Just Classroom. Today, we're going to discuss how to apply for jobs. I have done videos to explain how to search for jobs online, especially to the UK and Canada. Those applying to the UK NHS, I have videos on my YouTube channel that is going to teach you how to search for jobs on the NHS website and then how to apply on the track website. And then those applying to Canada, we are always on the job bank. We have a lot of websites like Indeed, Jora, Monster, but I do not teach on those websites because it is not monitored by the government. We want to help our people or protect our people from scam. And so I don't recommend websites that I cannot or the government cannot trace you when they are scamming you. Now in Canada, they have a professional website that all employers who want to recruit from outside the country, that is, they need a sponsor license to issue the LMI, that is the visa sponsorship. LMI means labor market impact assessment. It is a program designed for employers in Canada to be able to recruit from outside Canada. And so if you are not in Canada and then you need a work permit, employers who can sponsor you, they are going to give you something we call the LMI. And then the government has instructed all the employers to create an account called the job bank account, where you people, the job seekers, you can also go there to see the employers who created those accounts. And then you can just look at their details, that is their email address, and then contact them from. So on job bank, if you are outside Canada, you are not going there to apply the job. You are going to search for the employers. And after you find them, you get their email address. You now go to contact them. It is just like you going, walking on the street and then you meet a lady. That is where you found a lady. When you talk to the lady, or let's say you are able to get the lady's telephone number, you just tell the lady, I'll get back to you, and then you go home. And that is where the communication begins. So when you go on job bank, your main motive is going to search for the employers. One, employers who are going to give you the LMI, that is, employers who are going to be able to give you the visa sponsorship. And number two, employers who will be able or who are having their vacancies towards your job role. Okay, so if an employer is advertising for a cleaner and then you are a nurse, I'm not sure you're going for that employer. If the employer needs administrative assistant and then you are a construction laborer, I'm not sure you're going for that employer. So your main target is to an employer whose advert or their how do we call it, their job vacancy is for you. And then number two, they also have the visa sponsorship. We are all going on the job bank. If you're on TikTok, please join me on YouTube, where you'll be able to see the job bank. And then we're going to do one example to find an employer, and then we're going to look at the email address of the employer. Then we begin the discussion. So this video is not to teach you how to search for the employers, even though I'm going to give you one example. I have videos that I have pinned on my YouTube that you can watch for further understanding. All right, so this is how the Canada job bank looks. All right, don't go on Google to search job bank, because a lot of scammers have created job bank. You need a direct link, and the direct link can be found on my YouTube video teaching you job bank. You're going to see a direct link, click on it, and then you'll be safe. If you don't listen and then you go on Google to search Canada job bank, and then at the end of the day you get scammed, that is your own cup of tea. When you get on the Canada job bank, you're going to see their government logo. You're going to see Government of Canada. You're going to see job bank. On your right hand side, you're going to see sign in. Sign in. You don't necessarily have to create an account with them. If you know, creating an account gives you certain benefits. That is, if you are not applying for the jobs today, it helps you to shortlist about 100 employers, or let's say 200 employers, so that another time when you come, you don't waste your time to search for them. You have shortlisted them onto your account. So you just go there and look at them, and then you start applying. But if you are going to apply directly, you don't need to sign in. When you click on the sign in, they're going to ask you whether you want to sign in as a job seeker or as an employer. So you see, that means employers also create a job bank account, and then job seekers like you and me, we also create a job bank account. Now today we are not signing in. I have a video That will teach you how to create a job bank account. If you are interested to sign in, you can watch that video. Now, let us look at a job role like administrative assistant. Now, administrative assistant, they're going to ask you a keyword. So what job are you looking for? We want administrative assistant. Which part of Canada? We don't know, so we leave that part. You see, they have part-time IT student LMI jobs. The LMI is meant for you, but we don't click on that. It is a trending keyword. That means people are searching for these jobs on Job Bank. So they are telling you that a lot of people are currently searching for part-time jobs. People are searching for remote job, IT jobs, student jobs. You know, a lot of students, international students, they want jobs to do in Canada. So they are always on the Job Bank. And then people are also searching for the LMI. That is meant for you and me outside Canada. So today we are also going to hunt for the LMI. That is one trending keyword on the Job Bank this week. All right. So we click on the search. We've written our job over there. We need administrative assistant. So we click on the search. When we click on the search, they are going to give us a set of instructions, as you can see on the screen. They're going to tell us, it looks like you are visiting Job Bank from outside Canada. Yes, my computer's IP address indicates that I am in the UK. So the website will just fish me out that I am not in Canada. So they are going to issue a caution to me that once I am not in Canada, I can't apply for every job. The key word is every job. They didn't tell us any job. So this is grammar. They said, it looks like you are visiting Job Bank from outside Canada. If you are not legally authorized to work in Canada, what is the meaning? That means if you don't have a work permit, you can't apply for every job. That means there are a lot of jobs on Job Bank, but you can't apply for every job, all of them. That means some of the jobs you can, others you can't. That is the meaning of that word over there. Most Canadian employers will not hire you if you don't have a valid work visa or the permit. Now, what do you have to do? They said you should visit Job Bank's page. So there is a page on the Job Bank that is meant for foreign candidates. You are a foreign candidate. So there is a particular page on that same Job Bank website that we are. That is meant for you. And that part, there are employers over there who are going to recruit you from outside Canada. So if you read the last sentence, they said visit Job Bank's page for foreign candidates to review your options and find jobs from employers who are recruiting outside Canada. And these are the employers we are going to look for. So let us close it. So that is a caution for you to know. Now let's go back and search again. So we've searched for administrative assistant and then we've gotten 1,401. So you saw how I did it. I entered administrative assistant at the keyword. If you are a hairdresser, you enter hairstylist. If you are a carpenter, you enter carpenter. Construction worker, you enter construction worker. Care worker, you enter care worker. Home care support worker, whatever. So the keyword is the actual work you want to do. You enter it over there. Then you click on the search. It is going to search and tell you the number of results. Now, they told you that we can't apply for every job. That means all the 1,400 is not meant for us. Okay, it is not meant for us. So what do? They said we should visit a page. How do we visit a page? We need to filter to get to that page. How do we filter? When you look at the left-hand side, those who used to shop on Jumia, Amazon, Temu, or even, how do we call it? Yes, or Shein. You see that they have filter over there that you can filter for the clothing that you want. The same way that they also have filter on Job Bank that you can filter to see the employers who are willing to sponsor you because they already issued a caution that we can't apply for every job. So we need employers who can. Now, if we look at on the left-hand side, we have intended applicants. Intended applicants, you are going to click on Canadians and international candidates. The first one is Canadians and authorized worker. You are not a Canadian. You are not authorized worker. You don't have a work permit. So you cannot click on the first one. But the second one is saying that Canadians and international candidate. You are not a Canadian, but you are an international candidate. So you click on Canadians and international candidates. Then you come here, Labor Market Impact Assessment, LMI. They have pending LMI to be 9. Then approved LMI to be 0. You can leave that part because it will still search for them for you. Now, employment group, you can also leave that part. It is not necessary now. The type of work, they have Hours of work, sorry, hours of work, they have full-time and part-time. Now you are looking at a full-time job because to be able to get a job in Canada, especially on the visa sponsorship, it shouldn't be a part-time job, it should be a full-time. So you click on the full-time. That is enough for you. So the hours of work full-time, Canadians and international candidate, and sometimes you do click on the pending LMI and then approved. But since the approved is 0, you just have to leave that part. Then now you can see that they have 9 results. That means only 9 employers are ready for you now. So out of the 1,400, we've gotten only 9 who are ready to, how do we call it, sponsor us to Canada in terms of administrative assistant role. So you do that for every job. So the one apply for mason or carpenter or whatever, you also the same thing. Okay, after searching, then you go and filter international candidate, pending LMIA, and the full-time job, and then the employers will come. Now, if you click on the pending LMIA and the international candidate, it means that all the jobs over there you can apply. Now we look at this company, administrative assistant. When you come on job bank, you are looking at about 4 things that you need to consider. One, the salary. Is the salary okay for you? And the hours per week. How much are you going to take per hour? And how many hours are you going to work for a week? That is should give you an idea of your salary for the month. Because if they say you're going to work 40 hours, you multiply the hours. So 28 Canadian dollars an hour. You multiply it by 40, then you know how much you take for a week. Then you multiply by 4, then you know how much you take for a month. So it gives you an idea of how much you're going to make a month. They need one person. You look at the number of vacancy. If they need one vacancy, one person, it means it's very competitive. So when you apply and they don't call you, don't lose hope. That is one thing that you people don't always look at. The person need one person, and then about 1,000 people are sending their resume. So if they don't call you, you'll be like, it is not real because they didn't call you. But they called your brother. The person cannot call the 1,000. It is written there that they need one person, one vacancy. So if you send your resume and they don't call you, you don't have to stop. You have to keep on to apply. That is why I always encourage people that don't come to me to ask me to apply for you, because it is you telling me that I should apply for 1 year. Every day I should apply till you get the job, but nobody has that time for you. Okay, job application is not secured. It's not 100%. You don't know when the employer can call you. Somebody can do for 1 month, no response. The second month, no response. The third month, then they get a response. Somebody can also do for the first week, then they get response. So job application, you don't know when your luck will shine. So you don't go to somebody to pay money to the person to go and look for a job, because then the person is going to charge you every month until they get the job for you. And I'm not sure you can pay. So learn how to apply it yourself, and it's going to help you. Every evening before you sleep, you try and apply like 5 or 10. Then you sleep. Every day you apply like 5 or 10. You do it consistently, and then you're going to win. It's just like those staking bet, my bet and spotty bet. Today, when you stake, you lose. The following day, the person is taking the bet again, they lose. The next day, they are taking the bet again. They never lose hope. So it's the same thing for job application. It's a 50-50. You are applying with different candidate. So if they don't pick you, they'll pick somebody. It's a 50-50 chance. So I don't know why you want to lose hope. If you want to lose hope, then don't start at all. Just sleep. Okay, don't even start at all. If you know you cannot do it consistently, don't try. Just use your time to watch TikTok videos and laugh and sleep. Because the employers there, they are not going to pamper you. They're not going to pamper you. They know what they want. So you need to keep applying. So this employer is looking for one vacancy. So put it in mind that it is very competitive. Now it is written over here that the employer couldn't find any Canadian worker for the job. That is why they are looking for somebody from outside Canada. So pending LMI means the employer could not find anybody in Canada that is a Canadian worker for the job. So they have applied for the LMI to hire what? A foreign worker. And that is why I told you that if you use that filter to do it, you're going to get an employer who is not getting anybody in Canada. So that employer will hire you. All right. Now, if you go down there, look at the language. The employer needs somebody who can speak English. Now, how do you demonstrate English? It's through a paper and exams. And then the common exams they're going to accept is your WASI. If you have a good WAEC resource, they're going to accept it. If you have English proficiency letter from your college, those having diploma, degree, masters, you can take English proficiency letter from your school, and then they're going to accept. If you don't have a WASI certificate, if you didn't go to a degree, you don't have a degree, a diploma, or masters, and then let's say you are secondary, JHS leaver, you completed JHS, you were not able to go to secondary school. You have two options: one, either to stop, or number two, go and write IELTS to prove your language, because you don't have the WASI to prove the language. You don't have the English proficiency letter because you didn't go to school. After JHS, you quit. So if you still want to do some, then you have to write IELTS. If you cannot write IELTS, quit. I always tell you that every opportunity abroad has rules and regulations. You don't waste your time if they're not going to call you. You don't waste your time on it, because you need to prove language to get a work permit. It's same for UK. If you are coming to the UK, people are writing IELTS. Others are using their English proficiency letter to convert to ECTS. UK is doing some. Not only Canada. It is everywhere. If you are going to Germany, a direct work permit, if not a Schengen visa, a direct work permit to Germany, you have to write the German language. It is in every country. They need you to demonstrate the language. And so I am telling you for fact that if you are a JHS leaver and then you still want to apply for jobs in Canada, it is either you go and write your WAEC or you write IELTS. If not, then you have to stop and then look at other opportunities abroad. Now, this particular employer needs somebody from a college and not secondary school. So there are certain employers who will tell you that after the English, they also have education background. So the first one is English or the language requirement, and the second requirement is education. The education requirement, this particular employer is looking for somebody from a college. Okay, a college. Other employers will ask you, they're looking for somebody from secondary school. Some employers will say no certificate. That is, even if you don't go to school, they can employ you, but they will still tell you to prove English. That is where the problem is. So somebody will come and say, Tips, I saw a job. They said no certificate. I completed JHS. I completed primary school. Can I do some? It is a yes, but you need to prove English. How do you prove it? Either you go and write NOVDEC or you go and write IELTS. If you can't, that means you will not be able to get a visa. Now, apart from that, experience. Look at the experience. They're looking for somebody at least 7 months to 1 year is fine for them. If you have 2 years, 3 years, hooray. But your minimum should be between 7 months to 1 year. It's fine. 7 months to 1 year. If it is 6 months, you don't qualify. So if you look at the experience written there is a minimum requirement. If you have 5 years experience, hooray. Okay, so the employer writing 7 months to less than 1 year doesn't mean that if you have 2 years experience, they'll not pick you. No, they're talking about minimum experience. The employer writing college over there doesn't mean if you have masters or PhD or they will not pick you. No, they are talking about minimum. Okay, so everything written there is minimum. So these are the things you should consider, and then you have to feature them on your resume. So on your resume, you have to prove that you understand the English. On your resume, you need to state the schools that you attended, that you had a college. That is why you do a resume. On the resume, you also state the number of years you've worked in that job role. So if you are administrative assistant, this is administrative assistant. So on your resume, you have to demonstrate that you have same experience or equivalent experience that is more than 7 months. Now, another thing you have to consider on the portal is responsibilities. Responsibilities, another word is task or role. Now, the responsibilities, these are the things that the employer wants you to come and do. And they want to see some of the responsibilities on your resume. And that is what we call the ATS, the applicant tracking system. I've got a lot of people who have written their resume, very nice resume, but they didn't consider the ATS, the applicant tracking system, because they just went on ChatGPT. ChatGPT write a resume for me, and they wrote a resume without even considering what the employer wants from you, because the employers don't have time to look through your resume. They are using a software to track certain keywords on your resume to make sure that it meets what they want. Okay, and that is what we call the ATS, the applicant tracking system. So if you want to learn a proper way of writing a resume, the video is on my YouTube. I also have a full book, 42 pages, 42 pages book that is going to, it's an ebook that you can buy on my digital store. If you go on my TikTok, you click on there's a link on my bio. You click on it. There is a book, How to Prepare a Canadian Resume, 42 pages. It will teach you all these keywords, the ATS and other stuff that will help you. And then I also have 5 examples. I've written 5 resumes as a bonus for you. 1 resume for construction, 1 resume for a teacher, 1 resume for a care worker, and then 1 resume for, it is 5, I've forgotten. It's 5 different job roles. They are all there. If you go on the website, you see that the job roles over there. And then that is a bonus for you. If you buy the book, you get 5 resumes free of charge so that you can customize it to your liking. All right. Now, make sure that you consider the responsibilities. That is the ATS, because the book is going to teach you. If you cannot afford the book, there is a free video on my YouTube, How to Write a Canadian Resume. Take your time, watch it very well, and then you do it yourself. That way, you're not going to get any resume example. Okay, there's no attachment. All right. Now, another thing that you have to consider before you apply for the jobs is the experience or the specialization. Some employers will add it, others won't. So this one, you see, when you're writing a resume, we have the skills and then or the strength. So you need to add certain areas as your skills. Okay. And then they have the additional information like ability to work, attention to detail, fast-paced environment, ability to multitask, excellent oral and written communication. So all these are something that you have to feature on your resume. It is going to help you. And these are something we call the skills or the strength. Okay. And this is why we call the work experience. Okay. All right. Now, these are the things you have to consider. The next thing that you have to consider before you apply to the employer is the advertisement deadline. Today is 13th of August, and they are advertising this particular job role until the 19th of August. So in 6 days' time, this job will expire. They will not take other people again. Okay, so it's from today to about 6 days' time, 19th of August, this particular company will close their vacancy. So you have to also look at when they are closing their vacancy to make sure that you apply on time. Now you click show how to apply. Sometimes they add certain instructions to what you should do. At that time, they leave it like that. So this one, they said you can apply directly or by email. If you are not in Canada, you cannot apply direct, because if you are applying direct, they will ask you certain questions that you will not be able to get for them. For instance, they'll ask you a Canadian banking information. You don't have any bank account in Canada, so you cannot provide that information to apply direct on the job bank. So what you can do is to apply using the email. So what you do is you copy the email address. So I have highlighted Control+C on my keyboard is a copy. Or let's say you highlight, you right click, and then you click copy, and then you are able to copy. Once you copy their email address, what do? You now move from the job bank, and then you go to your email, and then you send them an email. That is what we're going to do today. So if you look on the screen, I just came onto my email, and you can see my email over there. Now, if you take a closer look at the email, before I go there, I want to tell you that some of you guys, you have a good resume, a good cover letter, but your approach to the employers is a 10 off. It's a 10 off. It just turned them off. I see a lot of people, they contact me, they want something, they write hello, just hello or hi, without saying anything. They are waiting for me to also come and say hi. Then they come and say, another day they come, good afternoon. Then I also come and say, good afternoon. They'll say, how are you? Before they will tell me what they want. People do not have time for you, especially in their email. Employers are receiving a lot of vacancies, a lot of applications. They are receiving thousands of applications. If you know the number of Ghanaians applying on Job Bank, the number of Nigerians, people from Kenya, South Africa, Zimbabwe, people from India, China, they all want to go to Canada. They are all on this website. You have to learn how to approach the employers. So the first approach is very, very important, because if you don't use the right approach, they are going to just delete. They not even look at. And then, the resume and the cover letter, they are document format, PDF. The employer has to download it, open it before they look at the content. So you have to tell them something before. So you applying for the job using the email, you've gotten the person's email address. You go to your email, then you enter the email, and then you just upload your resume, and then you send it to them without greeting them. You don't greet them. You don't even introduce yourself. So let's say you have your WhatsApp, you're on your WhatsApp, and somebody come to your WhatsApp and they just send you a picture. You don't know the person, an unknown number, send you certain information, like they send you random pictures, not your pictures. They send you a picture of a woman selling cassava at the market. The first thing you type on WhatsApp is, who is this? Because the person didn't greet you, the person didn't introduce you themselves. They just message you with a random picture. The next thing you type is, who is this? So the same thing is for the employers. If you don't introduce yourself and then you just send your resume to them, they will not tell you who is this. They will not even mind you. So today, we're going to learn the right approach to send to the employers. Okay, the right approach. So when you go to your email, this is the email. Okay, they have recipient and subject. Recipient and then subject. So this is the recipient too. The recipient is the one who is receiving the email. Now, recipient, we have three types of recipient: the primary recipient and the copied recipients. The copied recipients, we have the carbon copy and then the blind carbon copy. So if you are sending email, they write two, and then you see CC, and then you see BCC. I don't know if you've noticed that in the email. When you are sending email, the two is the direct recipient, the main recipient. The CC is the carbon copy. Carbon as in carbon paper, CARBON, carbon copy. Now, carbon copy is if you also want to copy somebody to serve as an evidence. Okay, so if you enter the CC, it will ask you to enter the person you want to copy. For instance, if you are sending an application to an employer and then you enter the employer's email address to the main recipient, and then the carbon copy, the CC, you enter Tips and G's email address, I will see the message you sent to the employer. The employer will also see that you have allowed Tips and G's to see whatever is ensuing between the two of you. So the CC, anybody who is receiving the message will also see that you have copied another person. Now, the BCC is the blind carbon copy. That one, if you blind copy somebody, the person receiving will not know that you copied another person. We use that as an evidence. For instance, let's say I have issues with my boss at work, and then my boss is asking me to apologize. And then I am writing an apology letter to my boss. And I have a lawyer who advised me. I want my lawyer to see what I wrote to my boss. I have two options. If I want my boss to know that my lawyer is aware, I would CC my lawyer. So at the recipient, the two, I'll write my boss email address, and at the CC, I'll write my lawyer's email address, so that my lawyer will also have a copy of the email I sent to my boss, and my boss will be aware that my lawyer is having a copy. But if I don't want my boss to know that my lawyer is aware, then I'll rather use the BCC, the blind carbon copy, so that my lawyer will know that this is what I sent to my boss, but my boss will not know that my lawyer has a copy. So that is it. But in job application, you don't use the BCC and the CC for now. You only use the two. So at where they've written the to or the recipient, then you paste the employer's email address. Now, this email address is that company. I copied on Job Bank. You people were here. You saw that I copied it. So you saw it. That is the HR at that company. All right. That is the email. Now, subject. Subject is something to pre-inform the recipient of what the message is about. Okay. For instance, if you are writing an email to me and then the email is very long, I don't have time to read. But just looking at the subject, it just tell me that, oh, tips, this email is very important. So read it for the person. So let's say if it is a visa application and the subject, you write visa application and then you've written a long email. I know that that email is about visa application. If it is about CV, you write the subject CV or resume at the subject, and then you write a long email. I know that the email is about. So the subject is about whatever you are writing. Okay. So if let's say the job was administrative assistant role. So at the subject, you're going to type something we call what? Application for administrative assistant role. With this, the employer will know that, okay, you want to submit your application and the role is administrative assistant, because most employers, they are having a lot of roles advertised on the job bank. Let's say an employer wants a cleaner and a security person, a security guard. So you want to tell the employer that you are applying for a job, but it is this role. You understand? So one, you've informed the employer about your intention for that email. And then number two, that particular job that you are even applying. So at the subject, you write application for administrative assistant to role. And then you come to the body. The body is this place, okay? The space provided under the subject where you can see the cursor blinking. That is where you write your body. Now, things to consider at the body. Things to consider at the body. You first have to greet them or salute them. We call it salutation. If you are on TikTok, you have to join me in the classroom to look at the blackboard. You have to watch the blackboard. We are learning, because I don't know how you'll be able to listen and then have everything in mind if you don't watch what we are doing. Now, the body, you have to first greet them, introduce yourself briefly, and then also add any other information. Now, certain employers will ask you to do something if you are applying for the job. For instance, they'll ask you to answer, are you already in Canada? Are you willing to relocate? Are you available for any shift? So certain employers will ask you certain questions. Do you have a driver's license? So when you go to on the job bank, when you come here and then you go to show how to apply, if they have certain instructions, they will list it over there. They'll bullet them. They'll say, before you apply, please include one. Are you already in Canada? Are you willing to relocate? Are you ready for any shift? Do you have a license or whatever? So anything that they want to ask you, they want you to include. So if you are sending them your resume and your cover letter, please try and answer those questions as part of your message. It is very, very important. Now, let us go back to the email. So now I am going to type an example of what you should send to an employer. So salutation, dear manager, or dear hiring manager, or dear employer. So I've given you a lot of examples. You can just choose what you want. So dear hiring manager. All right, dear hiring manager. Then you click enter to go to the next line. Okay. So that is the salutation. Now you want to introduce yourself. Introduction, not I am so and so. My name is Kweku Imano. They don't need your name for anything. Your name is already on your resume and your cover letter. So you want to introduce yourself by telling them where you find their job. Okay, so maybe I hope this message finds you well. Or let's say you go straight to the point. I found your job vacancy about this role. Okay, so I found your, because you've already even introduced the job vacancy here, administrative assistant. You don't even, oh, what is this? Sorry. Just give me a minute. I don't know what happened. Sorry for that. I don't know what happened, but I just clicked somewhere. Okay, so because you've already written the administrative assistant, you just go straight to the point. So let's say, I hope this message finds you all. It's fine to start with that, right? I hope this email finds you all. So sometimes if you are writing an email, because Gmail is Google Mail, Google suggests some words. So the moment I type, I hope, they just added this email finds you all. So when they suggest something like that, it appears faint. You click on enter and then it will just type it for you. So I hope this email finds you all. And then the next one is, I found your job on Job Bank. I found your vacancy or advertisement. I found your advertisement. Now, most employers advertise on different websites. So it is an introduction for them to know, okay, where you even found a job, okay? On Canadian Job Bank or Canada Job Bank, Canada Job Bank. And after a careful consideration of the roles and responsibilities, you remember that when we were looking at the job, we looked at certain roles and responsibilities that the employer wants us to come and do. That I told you that you have to feature most using the ATS, the applicant tracking system. So you want to even tell the employer that you have considered that roles that the employer wants you to come and do. And it's a very good start. It let the employer, it means you are even acknowledging whatever the employer wants you to come and do. And then you are also boosting your confidence level that you have read everything and then you know you can do that job. So let the employer know that you've seen what they want you to come and do, the roles and the responsibilities that they've written on the job bank. You've read it. Okay. So add it. So after a careful consideration of the roles advertised on the platform, or on their website. Okay, because you've already told them that you've already said you saw it on Job Bank. So if you say on the website, the employer knows which website. All right. So after a careful consideration of the roles advertised on the website, I am in my ability to contribute positively and support your company. Or I think I can contribute, or I strongly believe I can contribute a lot to your company. So anything you can write over there, okay? You don't have to force yourself. So I strongly believe um, I can contribute a lot to your company. All right. Oh, sorry. Believe should be VE, not this one. All right. And then the next one we have to do is to also, if the employer asks you to certain questions like, where are you located? Are you willing to relocate? And certain questions that you need to also add it. So if you want to add it, okay, so I am currently in Ghana. I am currently in Ghana. I'm currently in Dubai. I'm currently anywhere that you are, right? I'm currently in Ghana, willing to relocate. Willing to relocate. Hence, will need a visa sponsorship. So you have pre-informed the employer that you need a visa sponsorship into bracket LMIA. So if the employer don't have LMIA, it saves the employer much time because they don't even have to go through your CV and your cover letter. At that point, they just message you, we are sorry, we don't have sponsorship or something like that, or we've already given it to somebody. Okay, so it's very good you tell the employer your intention. Okay, so that it saves them much time. They are very happy at that. Okay, then now, because you're going to attach your documents, you also have to inform them that you have attached certain documents. So find attached my resume, cover letter, and other relevant documents. So if you have added other relevant documents, some employers, for instance, if you are going to apply for driving job, the employers would like to see your driver's license. What is happening to my computer? All right, let me see if everything is fine on YouTube. All right. If you are attaching your resume and a cover letter, the employers will like you to, how do we call it? Add certain documents. It depends on the type of job you're going to apply. If you apply for a care job, sometimes they need a care certificate, basic life support. They will indicate it on the job bank. So if you go on the job bank, you see the things apart from your resume, your cover letter, they will ask you to provide certain certificates. So you need to add it. Okay. So because you are adding those certificates, you tell them that fine, attach my resume, my cover letter, and other relevant documents. You can leave it like that and say maybe I can't wait to hear from you. Thank you, or something like that. All right. You don't need to write much because you already have a cover letter attached to it. So you can say thank you, and then you are good to go. Or maybe I can't wait to hear from you before the thank you. That is individual preference. So you see, just 2 lines. 2 lines, it is telling the employer a lot. One, you have greeted the employer salutation. There is an introduction. There is an information about you going through the roles. And then you know that you can contribute to the company. Because if you look at the roles and then you don't think that you contribute to the company, you don't have to worry yourself. You've already informed the employer that you are in Ghana, you want to relocate. And so you need a visa sponsorship. And so the employer will work for the LMI for you. And then you also told the employer that you have attached a resume, a cover letter, and other relevant documents. Thank you. Now, after writing, because a lot of people will be watching this video, I don't want all of you to copy this same email. Okay. You all don't have to write the same thing. So we're going to use another software called the paraphrasing tool. Okay. Paraphrasing tool. When we talk about paraphrasing tool, paraphrase is to rewrite it into another, how do you call it? Understanding or another other words, using other words that will mean the same. Okay. That is paraphrasing. And one software that is Quillbot. Quillbot. It has that paraphrasing feature. Quillbot. So we are going on the Quillbot. We first copy the whole email. So you see me highlight the email, and then I click Control+C. That is the copy. Or I can use my mouse to copy. So I come to this software that is the Quillbot. Okay, so you can see the Quillbot, and this is the paraphrasing. You can see paraphrasing tool over here, paraphrasing tool. So here they'll ask me to paste whatever I want to paraphrase. I click over there, and then I ask it to paraphrase for me. So I click on the paraphrase. They're asking me to log in. All right, let me try and log in, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, let me take it, log in first, and then I'll get back to you guys. All right. So you paste your message in the Quillbot, and then you ask the Quillbot to paraphrase. So you click on it, it is going to paraphrase onto your right hand side. So you paste it on the left hand side, and then it is going to rewrite it on the left hand side for you. So you see that this one, the first one was, I hope this email finds you all. It's I found your job on the job bank after a consideration of the roles advertised on the website. I strongly believe blah 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 blah. By looking at the paraphrase one, it is written in another words. I hope this email finds you, or I came across. So you see, I came across instead of I found your job. So I came across your job posting on job bank, and after looking over the positions listed over there, so position is not what we meant. The roles that we meant was responsibilities. Okay, so we click on the position, and then or we can just leave that part. We don't need it. Responsibilities. Then we write responsibilities. Okay, so looking over the responsibilities listed there, I am confident that I can make a significant contribution to your business. I am in Ghana right now, but I am eager to move. Thus, I will need a sponsor for my visa. That is LMIA. My cover letter, CV, no CV. Canada, they don't want the CV; they want the resume. So we have to maintain the resume, and other pertinent documents are attached. Thank you. So after that, if you think everything is okay for you, okay, if you think your paraphrasing is nice for you, what are you going to do? There's a copy over here. You click on the copy. You click here, copy, and then it will copy it for you. So you just click on it, it will copy. Then you come back to the mail again, to your email again. Then you delete the first one, and then you paste the paraphrased email as message over there. So this is the paraphrased message. So now, if you use that format, it is going to help everybody. The Quillbot is free. It is free, so everybody can use it to paraphrase. Okay. So you first saw my first sentence. You read it and then you type it, and then it will paraphrase it for you. If you don't want the paraphrased message, you can also click rephrase. So you can allow it to write as many as you want. So if you don't want this, you click rephrase, it will rewrite again. Another one, you can click here. So it can rewrite it about 10 times. So everybody can be changing theirs. Apart from that, they also have mood. They have the standard, the fluency. So you can also change yours from the standard to fluency. And then under the fluency, it's also going to rewrite it differently. Okay. And under the fluency too, you can rephrase it about 10 times. So different times. They have the humanized. So all the modes are there, and then you can rephrase them under the modes. So, but others are other modes you have to upgrade. Okay. 2 modes are free, and then about 10 different modes. The remaining 8, you have to pay for it. All right. But for the sake of job application, you don't have to pay for the Quillbot. Just use the 2 most, paraphrase to your liking, and then you just send it to the employer. Now, after getting what you want from the Quillbot, and then after you pasting it onto the email, what you're going to do now is to attach your document. How do you attach your documents? People used to ask me tips. You send the email, you send your resume. How can I attach my document? If you want to attach the document, click on, there is a symbol over here. I don't know how to describe. It's just like a file pin, an office pin. You see, when you go to an office, there is a pin that we use to bind certain files, okay, certain document. It is called like that. You see that as a symbol over there. It is called attach files. So you click on it, it will take you onto your computer, and then you will be able to upload your documents. So you click on it, it take you onto your computer, and then you click on the resume and the cover letter. So let's say I have a resume and a cover letter for Jacob. So you see that I've uploaded Jacob's resume and cover letter. Okay, so that is the cover letter PDF and the resume. Okay, now the resume, when you are uploading the resume, make sure that it is a document format and not sorry, it is a PDF and not a document. Okay. So if after you designing your resume, please convert it to PDF. After you writing your cover letter, convert it to PDF and not a document, a Word document. Employers would like to read it as a document file and not a Word document. People who used to come to me for resume, I used to do it, the PDF and the Word. I send both to you. The Word is for you to open it in the Microsoft Office Word to do your own editing if you wish. And the PDF is always ready for the employers. So you get about 4 documents. You only send 2, one resume, one cover letter, and then you leave the document for future editing. So the same way, if you also go and do yours on the website, you can save the PDF and then also save Word. Then you keep the Word for future editing. All right, the softwares for writing the resumes, it allows you to save it as a PDF or a Microsoft Word. So you can save it or the two, but you send the PDF to the employers. So that is how we attach. I'm going to attach it again to show you. You click on the pin, the office pin over here, where it is written attach file. You can see where the mouse is. Okay, down there, you can see a mouse over there. You click on it, it will open your mobile phone or your laptop. If you are using a laptop, it will open your laptop. If you are using a mobile phone, your mobile phone. Then you look for the file, okay, on your phone or on your laptop. Then you upload them. Okay, so I've uploaded the resume. Now let me upload the cover letter as well. I've uploaded the cover letter. That is how we upload. Please don't be sending them one after the other. So let's say you want to upload other certificate. Let's say your driver's license, then you have to also click on it and upload that certificate if you want to, if you have it and then you want to send it to the employer. So let's say I've uploaded one thing, okay, another thing. Let's say that is a certificate, okay, the yellow and orange modern marketing courses. Let's say that is your certificate. Then you also upload that one. If the certificates are about 3, you can upload all of them because you've already alert the employer that you are uploading your cover letter, resume, and other relevant documents. So you can upload all of them together. At this point, I hope you guys really understand what we did today. And that is how we apply for jobs. You see how many people are in the classroom? Only 53. And we have about 112 people. And all these people will come to your DM and ask you that, I want you to apply jobs for me. When I have spent almost 1 hour teaching people for free, you just bought data, come and learn how to upload, how to do it. People say they will not come. They are on TikTok watching me. And these same people will come under my live session. I want your email. They'll come. I want to go to Canada. Can you apply just for me? And I'll tell them no. And they'll be like, hey, we 3 more than you. You're supported from day one. Also, when your job application, my nobody can leave their job over there to apply just for you. You have to learn it and do it yourself. I already told you that job application will take time. You have to apply continuously for 3 months, and nobody can quit their job abroad. Obi ni wo UK hasia, obe quitting a juma etifie. Say 3 months or the behwe juma ma wa ma wotu kwan. Obi ni ho betuma yes ade ama. So unya obi na so obe kire wa. Tu hu si wo ne sua bi ebeboa. The video is on YouTube. At your free time, you can watch it and then go and do it. All right. Now, after that, you click send. You click send. You can see send over there. You click on the send, and then it is going straight to that particular employer, and then the employer is going to receive it. Once you click on the send and it goes to the employer, you are done with the job application. So you see the process. We first went on the job bank. We read all the instructions. We took the company's email address. We came to our email. We petitioned the employer. That is the words that we started the introduction email. And then we even paraphrase it. And then we've added our supporting documents. And then we have sent to the employer. And that is what we call job application. And this one, applying to one job, if you already have your documents, it should take you about 10 minutes to apply for one job. So if you have 1 hour a day, you can apply to 5 jobs. And then the next day, you apply to another 5. If you do that continuously for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, by the time 1 month, you have applied for like 90 jobs Because 5 times 30 is even more than that 90. Okay. About 150. 5 times 30 is about 150. So let's say 100 jobs a month. And one thing about the job bank, every day they keep updating the job bank. Every day they keep posting new jobs on the job bank. So if you apply this week, next week you get other jobs. The following week you get other jobs. The following week you get other jobs. So you do that, and then that will maximize your chances. Job application is not guaranteed. Into kwaya baako pa and not just employer and befro. No, you have to keep on because it is free to apply. One said process yeah. You call job bank, yankasi entry sika bia. It went in ako Google, na job bank because or koju sika say tips and just ochra dia akwa omusi tueska. Because job bank what's me $5. All those on YouTube, we want on job bank. Did you see them writing $5 over there? No. But we better not TikTok. Onimnyansa chen or we know them kako Google on any madie computer mine. Or kwa no ako pay India for website. Yes, unko $5. On complain or website in so not all be complaining or meme TikTok comment section as no blocking the pakro. Because mensuma say be complaining on comment section as say no I bet I went on job bank and they said I should pay $5. Why not catch us call India for job bank when we are all learning over here and sana gan in it here. So job application is free of charge. If you go on the right website, you pick the employer's email address and then you send their resume to them. They are not going to charge you. So please apply as many as you like. So far as the employers have the LMI for you, don't apply for those who don't have LMI. Focus on those who have LMI. When you finish with them, wait for 1 week. Then you go there, you see other employers over there, and then you apply to them again. Every week, you get new employers who are advertising the same job that you want. If you're a cleaner, administrative assistant, healthcare worker, any job that you want over there, construction worker, laborer, or whatever, the jobs are always there. Every week, they keep refreshing the page. You get new employers bringing their advertisement. And so you do the application and then continuous for about 3 months, and then you get responses. Now, when you go abroad, even those in the UK, those in Canada, they will attest to the fact that even if you are in the country, you don't just apply for 1 week and they call you. No, people are in the UK searching for jobs. It takes them about 1 month, 2 months before they go for interviews. People are in Canada, they search for jobs 1 month, 2 months before certain employers call them. So if you are outside the country, you have to multiply that month by 2. So if it will take somebody in the UK 2 months for an employer to consider that person, then you should allocate about 4 months for yourself. The idea is you don't have any chance to go to Canada. You cannot afford school fees to go to school. You don't have somebody coming to marry you, but you are there. You have internet. You have your mobile phone, always coming on TikTok, doing chatting your friends. You don't know what to do. That is why we are teaching you this to try your luck, so that every day you have skills and experience. You are probably not even employed, but at least you've written certain companies on your CV to show that you're working or something like that. So if you keep applying, an employer will shortlist you one day and you get an email that, are you available for interview this date? And you say, yes, I'm available. You do the interview. If you perform very well, then they will give the offer letter to you. You sign, it becomes a contract. And then they look for the LMI for you before you proceed to the work permit. If you don't get the LMI, you can't apply for work permit. That is why when I am doing live on TikTok and somebody come, I want to go to Canada. I say, how do you want to go? Me pay work permit. And when I'm dropping the pakro. Because work permit, you turn what TikTok, no abasa pay work permit. You have to go and search for an employer, get an interview. After the interview, they'll give you offer letter, what's inside, everything. You get the LMI before you come and look for somebody to assist you to apply the work permit. You just don't wake up and come on TikTok, go be in live or say, me pay work permit. Because you empower this year. Okay. So you see few people learning. But questions and answers what TikTok are. In the pabe 200 no mugusu, will be a pabruchako. A basa mumiko suya dea, huba, no be a dane. By this time, Kobe a ye do be at me, pabe 800 or muguso. Or muninaso pabruchako. And that is why I always tell you, say, me, what I do is I come here, then I teach you. Once I teach you, I am done. If you come to my DM is even logged on TikTok. If you come to my email, I don't respond to the email, except it is for visa or SCV. That's all. Because nipa na ono no person oku nhoma no no, ono ankasa onku ne ho. The person na ono person otu kwan no, oni adagye krama ne ho. Na wo te abrochi akonya adagye ama sa nipa no. Sa nipa no kasa o mesua de a 30 minutes kra onya sa adagye ne kra mesua. Oni adagye ma ne ho. Nti wo te abrochi a eni kwa so wunya adagye ma sa nipa no. Cause ono onwene ne ho kra we comfortable in Ghana ho. So I don't kill myself for those people. Sana me yeme. Nti abusua medamase mo amobesua de no ye bompa ya ta mochi. Whatever you've learned today, go and then practice it, then it will help you. At this point, if you don't have a resume and a cover letter, you can watch my videos on YouTube. I have a lot of videos over there, okay? Watch it on YouTube and then it will help you to create your own resume and cover letter. If you still have questions about the resume cover letter, or you can still create the software to create the resume. Let me show you the software. The software to create the resume is what you see on the screen. That my perfect essay writer. You can see I was writing a resume for somebody. That is my perfect resume. My perfect resume. This is the software for writing the resume. Somebody will tell you to use ChatGPT to write your resume. I tell people don't. Okay, don't use ChatGPT to write your resume. Why? Because ChatGPT was not designed for resume. ChatGPT was designed for research purposes. Even though it can write resume, it is not specialized in resume writing. My perfect resume, it does nothing except resume. So it was built for resume. Everything inside the software is meant for resume. So it will give you a very good resume. Now, my perfect resume, you have to pay for it. It's not free. You need to subscribe. That my perfect resume. If you want a software for a cover letter, I have another video. It will also give you that software. Go and watch that video. The video will give you the software for the cover letter. That one you have to pay for it. And that is how it is. If you pay for it and then you are able to do it correctly using the optimized version, you know that your documents are correct. If you go and use ChatGPT, I have ChatGPT. ChatGPT is what you see on the screen. My ChatGPT is not free. Okay, I have subscribed to my ChatGPT, but I don't use it for a resume. My ChatGPT, I pay £20 every month. You can see on the screen. My current plan, £20 every month, just to research. I use it for research. I use it for research purposes. Okay, my ChatGPT I pay. Some of you, you are even using the free version of ChatGPT, but you still use it. You want to use it to write a resume. Even I am using the paid version, but I don't use it for resume. I am using the paid version, but I don't use it for resume. So if I'm telling you don't, I know the reason why. I know the reason. Okay. If you use the my perfect resume to write your resume and then you use ChatGPT, you will see the difference. That ChatGPT is too artificial, it's too AI. Like it doesn't really, it's not humanized. And then it has no ATS, the applicant tracking system. Okay. So use my perfect resume. It will help you. That is why I'm showing this evidence on the screen. You can see that I have subscribed to ChatGPT, £20 every month, but still, I don't use it for resume. I use my perfect resume, the first software, this one. I use this, and this one too, I pay for it. So I know which one will help you. Use my perfect resume. Pay for it, design your resume with it. It will help you. There's a video to coach you on how to write it. Again, if you try and you still cannot do after all the videos and then after everything, you can send me an email. And then the email, let me put it on the screen. There's already the email on the screen, scrolling down there. Okay, if you look at the email scrolling there, you can see that email over there. Okay, so you send me an email and then I'm going to respond to you. There is a prompt. The email will tell you what to do. So cv.tipsandgist@gmail.com. Okay. cv.tipsandgist@gmail.com. You can see it scrolling over there. And it is also on the screen. If you send me that email, it is only for CV and a cover letter. Any other communication, I will not respond. If you come, it will give you a certain WhatsApp number. If you come, don't come and tell me your history. And you want to travel, you have two children. No, it is only meant for CV and cover letter. I give 2 hours for everybody. So if you come there, I don't have time. So the 2 hours is for your resume cover letter. You cannot chat me. Any other communication, I'll block you. It is only for the resume and the cover letter. If you have any other question, any communication, when I come on TikTok live, then you come now, you this come. Okay. I had the oba as was shipa, obi a pe resume nti, a hono ye nin komo and come on ye do TikTok live. So if you have any komo, fafa TikTok live, me banwa request it. Na ni ma be bon komo, kama. Hane the oba is only for resume and cover letter. No other communication. And komo bi eno, aburuchirin komo bi eno. Aburuchirin komo bi eno. So Shannon so. All right. And yes, I be disappointed. And go for be no my disappointed. All right. Now, the last thing to tell you, there is an ebook. Okay, apart from the videos, those who want to do it yourself, if you watch the video and it's not enough for you, there is an ebook that you can also get on my digital store. There is a link on my TikTok bio. That ebook is 42 pages, how to write your own resume. And then it will teach you the ATS and other styles. Also, it will give you 5 free samples, 5 samples free, one for construction laborer, one for farm job, one for home care or the health worker, one for a teacher, and the last one is what I've forgotten. It is 5 different job roles. Okay, so that one, if you still watch the video and then you want the ebook is on my digital store. You can purchase it and then you get 5 different resume samples that you can edit to your own standard using the knowledge in the ebook. It can help you to redesign it yourself to your liking. At this point, if you still have any question, you leave a comment under this video or you send me an email. Don't even send me an email. When I come on TikTok live, you request and then you come and ask. If you send the email, it will take about 1 month for you to get a response. So don't worry yourself to send me an email. Just when I come on TikTok anytime, then you come and ask me that question so that you get a faster response. The email should be if you want a resume or a cover letter. That is it. Somebody said, Tips, my perfect resume didn't give me my reference to fill. Canada don't need references, but if you still want to write reference as, let's say, per request, it should give it to you. If you go on the software, let me see. If you go on the software, if you go on the software, there is a section over here, add sections. Click on the add sections, and then you should write reference over there, and then you click add section. It will ask you to type whatever. Okay, so add access. This one has a reference already on the CV, so they will not allow me to add another one. But do it like that. Okay, so go to add section, and then type reference, and then add section, and then type the reference over there. But most of the time, reference is always available on request. Available on request. Okay, reference is always available on request. Canada don't want you to write your reference over there. So the reference is always available on request. Does this education applies to all countries or only the UK? This is specifically to Canada. Now, UK, most of the companies in the UK, they will ask you to apply on their company website instead of sending to the email. So they'll have an application form on the individual company website where you fill and then you click submit. So you don't use the email version. Okay, most companies in the UK. Other ones will also ask you to apply through the track website, TRAC website. That one too, you fill your information over there, then you send it through the track website. If there is a company in the UK asking you to submit an email, then this message goes for you, to you. Okay, this video is applicable to those companies. So that way you already know the company's email. So you go to your email, you paste it, and then you write an introduction message and then send your CV and supporting documents. So this was about Canada, but it is applicable to certain countries who allow you to apply through the email. Through the email. Um, Somebody's saying now we are all going to apply it. Yes, you have to apply it yourself because nobody is going to do it for you. Those who are going to do it for you, they are going to charge you $10,000, $15,000. Yes, and that is the gospel truth. Nobody can apply for jobs for you and then take you $100 or $200. Nobody can do that, and then they cannot guarantee you. And that is why a lot of employers will charge you $15,000 that they are doing work permit for you. They try, if they don't get the employers, then they apply for a visit visa. Then you start crying. Tips or catch them so your work permit, buy a visit, and because one kind of crunch so job application any guarantee. It says can or GNO, any 100% will be your employer the amount. So if they don't get employer, what they're going to do is they will apply for a visit visa for you. That is how it is. So if you don't learn it the hard way, you cry the hard way. I will be $10,000, $15,000, and then at the end of the day, they are going to do what we call a visit visa for you instead of the work permit because 3 days na when you oni adaje obehwehwe sa 6 months obejai na the visitor to mama ukudra ho bechiro ukudra sa process we nyina no e just also esua it ade ne unsua nye na unkipi usika no you see because the visit ne kokra na still na no unya adwuma nye enti ade ntine ne unsua na wonya ne preko. Can you add Allison English course certificate? They don't accept Allison English course because Allison Academy, that examination is not invigilated. So English course, they don't accept. The proof of English I told you is your WASI, IELTS, or English proficiency letter. Take it or leave it. All right. So if you're going to Canada, they have other certain English requirement like the CELPIP, the PT core, but it's not common in Ghana. So if you don't have the WAEC, go for IELTS, or if you have your degree or something like that, you can use your English proficiency letter. If it is a piloting or express entry, they don't even accept the WAEC or the English. It's solely the IELTS, the PT course, CELPIP. But this is LMI. That is why you have opportunity to submit your WAEC. So don't go for Allison English. No, don't go for it. Any other question before we close? Can I send the CV and resume for you to go through? No, I don't do review. Once you write it, you are okay. If you think that you are not okay, then you need to purchase the ebook to use the ebook to guide you to see if there's an error or not. And that is why I've written the ebook. I don't have any other time for all of you to go through your resumes because if I go through and there is a mistake, I have to be correcting and you see all that time. Nobody will have that time for you. Okay. So if you still don't have confident in yourself, then you need to buy that ebook and then you use it to guide you. Tips: technical school, can they apply? Technical school, you need to go for your English proficiency letter because you don't have English as part of your certificate. If you have English, if your final exams you wrote English, then you can send that certificate to them. Okay. You see, on the WAEC results, they have their English language on it. So if your technical, the NVITA, you have English on it, then you can submit it to them. If you don't have it, you have to go for your English proficiency letter. Can we get the go and watch that video because the software is not free. So if you go and you do anything, any nyama thing, you still pay for it. So go and watch that video on how to do it properly. And under that video, you get the link over there. So I'm not, Regina, I'm not giving the link here to you, go and watch the video because you don't know how to use the software. So go and watch the video on how to use the software. After you are okay with it, there's a link under that video. Okay. Then you click on it and then you design it. Let me pick the last question and then we close. Um, all right. Since there's no other question, all right. Yeah, the video is saved over here. You can rewatch it. All those who came late, you can rewatch the video. We streamed 1 hour, 15 minutes. Another time you will hear from me. God bless you all. Bye bye.